I'm just quietly walking through this pitch black house with my flashlight on my camera, and it's terrifying. It's like something out of Silent Hill.
Welcome to the Buying a House in Japan podcast. My name is Take. Unfortunately, not joined by my co-host, Joey, today. He's working on Tama Base Camp before the photos get taken. But I will hold down the fort because we have a very interesting guest today. Today, we have Justin Wong. Justin is one of our earlier AkiyaMart direct customers and success stories. So, Justin, thank you so much for being here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Awesome, Justin. We're stoked. I talked to Yoshi last week, and you just came back from Japan, right?
Yeah, I came back to Japan a couple weeks ago. I went down to check out the house and try working Japanese hours. So it was a nice little trip.
Okay, we'll talk about the Japanese, both of those actually topics in a little bit. But Justin, before we go into, do you mind giving a quick intro? Who are you? Where do you live? And anything about your background.
Yeah, I live in Vancouver. I've always loved going to Japan. I've been to Japan quite a few times growing up. And the housing market in Vancouver and most of America these days, or Canada, it's rough, right? And it's okay. Even though I have a pretty good job, I'll never be able to own a house. So I was looking on Reddit one day, right? And
Reddit, interesting.
Yeah, shockingly, it was where it started. And people were like, hey, how do you get a house in Japan? And I was like, oh, there's no way. There's no way. It can't be that easy. And there was one comment that mentioned AkiyaMart, and I was looking into it. And so word of mouth really does work. And I saw that and went from there. But I'm a business professional. I work in marketing, work fully remote. So they get things lined up. We just heard about the digital nomad visa in March. And I was like, oh, okay, this could be a thing, right? I've always wanted to spend more time in Japan, everything lined up. And finding AkiyaMart at this time and having you guys be starting out this business, it was a perfect opportunity for us.
Hell yeah. And I'm curious, I'm sitting in California right now, feel exactly the same as you about buying a house. I'm curious, what is like the median home price in your area? Or what's like the average house?
A house, a couple million.
Couple million? Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. We're maybe jumping ahead a little bit, but to getting a house of the same size as the one I got in Japan is $7.6 million.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. So just square footage or square meters or what?
Just by square footage. And I don't get to live in Japan, so it's not even worth it. So but that's once we looked at the numbers, like it was a no-brainer.
I think, I see, when we talked to you first initially, Joey and I both saw a lot. Like, I feel like we're all part of the same generation. I know I asked you, how old are you?
35.
Okay. Right on. So I'm 34, and it seems like we're in the same, a lot of our generation right now is feeling the same problem where we can't afford homes here, and Japan's an interesting option, right?
Yeah.
How many times have you been to Japan before you're like, let's do this?
I think I have been 7 times. This would be 7 times or so.
How much Japanese do you know?
Very little up until maybe like once I think that the papers were signed, I was like, okay, we gotta do this seriously, because I've always tried, I've always bounced off. It's really hard, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know any other languages, and trying to learn Japanese as your first language is rough, right?
It's rough.
It's so hard. But now I've been trying really hard. But up until this point, no, I didn't I recognize hiragana, katakana. That's it.
Okay. I'm right there with you, man. I'm half Japanese, and I went to Japanese school as a kid, and I'm just like, definitely can't speak it fluently, definitely lose it. Like, Japanese is so hard, especially when you're living in North America speaking English every day.
I've heard that a lot. I've had a lot of friends who are like, oh yeah, I used to be fluent in Japanese for whatever reason, and I haven't used it in 5 years, and it's completely gone. I'm like, how do you just lose a language if you just don't use it for a couple of years? That's crazy. That's scary.
It's tough. These hard characters, reading. Like,
no, for real.
Yeah, but all right, Justin, I'm pumped. From the day one, I think you chatted with us first in August. Let me quickly check.
Something around that.
Okay. Yeah, so you're one of our first customers we really brought through the process. Actually, you're number 2 for Yoshi. So right on. I see that we
nice.
Chatted with you on August 1st. So August 1st, and when did you get your keys? I think you got in October, right?
Yeah, I got my keys in October. I met Yoshi on like the 4th day I got to Japan. So like first week, like October 10th or something.
Okay, right on. So pretty quick turnaround. I think talking to Yoshi and just looking at the people we're helping, you're definitely one of the most straightforward customers we've helped. I think from day one, you're like, I want this, and you just went for it and sent it. And I think that is just like awesome. It was awesome working with you. But do you mind talking a little bit about what's the place you ended up getting? How much is it? Where is it? I know it has a dope ass Genkan though, but refresh my memory. Okay.
It's a 2,200 square foot place in Nara, around in the Nara region, 2 floors, 8 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, or 2 bathrooms, and 8 bedrooms for myself and my wife. So we each get a floor. It's going to be so sick. Beautiful neighborhood.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like, it's 10 minutes from the nearest station, but we'll get into the difference between looking at it on Google Maps and actually walking it is a very different thing.
Oh, man, me and Joey learned that. I'm excited to hear this. We feel the exact same.
Yeah, but yeah,
when was it built?
It was built in like the 80s, I think, 70s or 80s, late 70s or 80s.
And
yeah, it's
one more time,
a gorgeous place.
How much was it?
It was $30K US, so around 40 something Canadian for the whole thing.
Let's go. I looked at photos. Geez, you scored. Okay. I'm just gonna jump around here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the listing in the Spotify description here, but does it look like the photos?
It looks better than the photos.
What? Really?
It looks better than the photos. Like, we saw the photo and okay, this place looks pretty good. It looks, and then we got the video walkthrough from Yoshi, and and we were like, wow, this is really nice. This is even, because you're not getting the in-between shots, right? You're not going like from the entrance transitioning to like the Japanese style rooms and how that connects. Once you actually go through it, and then actually doing it in person, it was better than I thought. I didn't know how that was possible, but it blew me away being there in person.
Wow, glad this is not pre-recorded. This is not a
I'm not a plant
thing. This is curious. How did you decide Nara? You were like very specific. You like knew what you wanted from our consultation. Like, how'd you end up? That's our number one question people ask us. Where should I buy in Japan? Like, how would you answer that question? And why did you buy Nara?
We actually spent, my wife and I, I want to say at least 5 hours going. We bought the premium like subscription.
Oh yeah.
And then we had to, right? There's no way we couldn't. And we spent 5 hours at least over several nights looking through a billion listings, right? We said, okay, well, this is how much we want to pay. Yeah, we're like, okay, we don't really want to go above this much. We want somewhere with a little more space. And when you put in those kind of parameters, it really pushes you out of the Tokyo area. It pushes you into somewhere that's more in like the rural countryside area. And we've been to Nara, right? We love Nara. We've been to Nara before. We love the Osaka area. So it's okay. Nara sounds like a great place as a starting point to look around. And we had a couple of really specific criteria we were looking at. I was really keen on it being close to a station because it's there are some places that are super good, but that's one of the traps. It's okay, I don't want to walk 30 minutes to a station. I don't want to walk, and I don't want to be so completely isolated. I got to go for a 2-hour commute every time I want to get groceries. So I was being super diligent about how close we were to a station, but not just trusting the listing. It's actually going in on Google Maps and like tracking the path to the closest station. Okay, does that seem doable? Okay, does that seem doable? And yeah, Nara was the starting point, just as we know that it's the area that we love. And then, but we branched out. We looked through Kobe, we looked through Shizuoka, we looked through the Chiba area as well, further away from Tokyo. There was one place in Aomori that was like $6,000, and we were like, oh, but it's so far away.
Aomori's cold, bro.
It's cold. The house is gorgeous. It's $6,000, and I was like, oh man, that's insane. But I cannot do it. That is.
Hey, second, you've started. You've opened the door at this point, Justin. There's a lot more. We bought our first one, then we consecutively bought 3 more, like within the same year. So.
If I can afford it, it's tempting. It's tempting. Now they know how simple the process is too.
Before we touch on the process, I'm curious why, or what is the intent of this? Are you using this house as a vacation home? Are you trying to rent it out? And when you bought, and what is the intended purpose of this house?
Vacation home mostly. Ideally, if I can find it like a visa sponsorship, I could work in Japan and just live there permanently. That'd be pretty sick. But for now, I want to be 3 months on, 3 months off, maybe sometimes trying the digital nomad visa, staying for 6. But just living in Japan, being able to go to Japan and having the only costs be like flights and then whatever things we buy and whatever things we eat. Not even worrying about hotels and so on, always having a place to stay. And eventually just having a retirement home as well, even if we only stay for 3 months at a time. I'm going to be going back to Japan for the rest of my life. So having that kind of solid base in Japan that's the main reason.
Oh yeah. And yeah, again, you're speaking exactly how we feel. Went in exactly for those same reasons. And But okay, let's talk about the process. So again, you were one of our first folks through. Just to give a little context, we have since built a lot of like educational resources. When we talked to Yoshi, on the background, we've been following along and checking in with Yoshi every week. Every time I talk, oh, Justin's really easy. He's got this. So you have been the smoothest process here, but talk to us a little bit about the process. And you've never bought in Canada before, right?
No, never.
Okay, so this is your first transaction process. So talk me through a little bit. How was it? What were the good points? What were some of the bad points?
The biggest thing is I'm a really skeptical, risk-averse person. And when I see a place, it's, okay, you can buy a house for $30K US, and okay, what's the catch? Clearly, am I going to get to the place and this is going to be an empty lot and I just buy like a parking lot somewhere? Is like you never really know, because especially when it's so far away. And I have Asian parents and relatives, and they're all like, "Oh, can you really trust these people?" And so I think it's fine, but that was the kind of the thinking. I was doing as much work as I can to validate things on my own. So that's why when I came in and when I had the consultation, we already had everything planned out. I know this is how much it costs. This is exactly what we want. This is where we want to go from here. And just tell us what we need to do next, because we wanted to just be really informed consumers, informed home buyers moving in. And that's the mindset. I think it's really important. That helped us get such a smooth home buying process, right?
Oh, totally. Seems like you did so much of the research on the front end that by the time it was like time to perform, it went very easily and smoothly. And I think that's the homework we don't see initially, but that happens on the back end, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's I think with everyone, even ourselves included, like there's always that leap of faith moment where you're like, are we getting scammed? Or it's such an unknown territory that my parents said the same thing too. Like, what are you guys doing buying this abandoned home in Japan? I don't know. I think it's cool.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah. I think for me, it was the moment where like, I'm about to hit the button to send over the deposit. Because if it was going to be a scam, it would be right now. It'd be right now. Deposit gets sent and then it's gone. And it's fine. And it was completely fine for anyone listening. It's not a scam, guaranteed.
Thanks for vouching for us.
Not being paid off for this. But no, it was an amazing process, and it was an amazing kind of journey. And it really showed, like, for at least for me, for our experience, how easy it was, how easy it could be for a foreigner who can't speak Japanese, never bought a house, and just to get the whole process done in a few months.
Yep. For context, Yoshi was your agent, so Yoshi is like the effing man, right?
Oh, he's incredible. If I have friends who are buying in the Osaka area, I would recommend Yoshi. So I might reach out to you guys. Hey, hook him up with Yoshi, please, because Yoshi's the goat.
Yep, Yoshi's the goat.
Yoshi's the goat.
Did Yoshi actually? We'll come back to it later.
Yeah.
But general transaction time started in August, got keys in October. Things moved really fast with your process. I remember like within the first 2 weeks, I think you had already been like, let's send it, right? It was like, so you did the consult with us, you talked to Yoshi, you paid our fee and signed the paperwork, and we had an inspection, or we had the property viewing a week after or something. Is that right?
Yeah, the property viewing was really fast, just to make sure the place was legit. And then the next thing was the inspection. And that took a bit of time, but I think it was a very valuable thing, even if it was a little more expensive than expected. It was a valuable part.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. So just to double click on that. So your inspection, we often quote people and say rough estimate inspections cost $500 to $1,000. I think yours was like above that, right? Like closer to 1.5.
It was like 1.5.
You know why? It's still a little bit of an anomaly. Like your house is pretty big, I think. But did you get any insights from Yoshi on why that was so expensive?
I don't know why it was. Maybe that's just, I have no idea, because I don't know the standard, right, of how much it is. Maybe it's the space. Maybe it's
actually 2,000 square foot's pretty big.
Yeah. So like they were really thorough. Like for me, just Google translating the document, they were going into things that, way beyond what I was looking at. Oh, there's like a 3-degree slant in the kitchen. I'm like, I don't care.
It's like hilarious.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, it's good. It was incredibly thorough. It was like, hey, if you rubbed your hand on the outside of the wall, some little paint came off. I'm like, I don't care. I appreciate it. There were some really good things, like how damp the basement was. So then the basement, the under house area, whether there were animals in the attic and stuff like that, any markings for bugs and such. So having that was a real peace of mind. It's okay, no, there's not like a nest of something hidden away, because that's the scary part, right? You buy the place, it's like, oh, it's actually like a termite infestation. You had no idea. And now it's too late. Now you're screwed. But it gave us that peace of mind to really move forward with everything.
I'm curious, what were some of the like things in that home inspection that you're like, ooh, yellow flag? Anything that really concerned you more or scared you a little bit?
Here's the thing, this is part of a bigger conversation, I think, is literally when we were buying the house, there was that big Kansai mega quake scare,
Oh yeah.
right? And I
Yep.
was already, okay, earthquake is a big thing for me. I'm a little worried about earthquakes.
Mhm.
So it's, oh God, the cracks in the foundation. I was like, okay, we got to get those fixed up. There's a couple of cracks there, a couple of long cracks in the house. I'm okay, we should get that fixed up as well.
Mhm.
That's probably the closest thing to a yellow flag. Otherwise it was fine. I knew there's going to be some issues with the foundation, but it's not like
Yeah, it's like a 50-year-old house, right?
exactly
Or like a
right.
40-year-old house. I don't know what 40 or 50-year-old house has like a perfect foundation.
Yeah, it's nicer than the house I have here. So,
Okay. Okay, there we go.
Right? Exactly.
Okay. So home inspection. After that, did you send? How was the negotiation process? The offer was, I think, quite straightforward from what I remember.
Yeah, we didn't bother trying to fight the price. I'm like,
Mm.
the price is good. Honestly, I'm
Yep.
happy with it. So let's just get this thing going.
Yep.
Especially because we heard that the price recently lowered by itself, anyways. Because I think people were saying that the driveway was a bit too steep and narrow. But since we're
Mm.
not driving, it didn't matter to me. So I was okay.
Yeah.
I am currently happy with this price. I don't want to put
Mm.
any pressure on Yoshi. Let's just go with it. So
Yep.
very
Yep.
straightforward.
Thank you for that. I think that makes, I think that's also why the transaction process was so smooth.
Mm.
Is like when you go out strong with the seller's agent, just say, hey, we're going to pay the price. They like lower their guard a little bit
Yeah.
because I think foreigners are always, hey, can we get a little bit off that after the home inspection? Is the, I don't know, American tire kicking strategy.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So I think, yeah, by going at that price, and I think what 4.5 million was.
Yep, 4.5 million.
Okay, that's again killer.
I
of a
have
price.
no complaints about that price.
Okay, so you went for the full price, and then the contract was accepted. So something we've become acutely aware of after the offer is accepted, it takes a long time to get the keys in hand, right?
Yes, there was the whole judicial scriver thing. Didn't no idea what that was, but
Yep.
it was fine. It was just a call with some random guy in Japan, and then we wait a bit, and then we got the email, and everything was good to go.
Yep. We will do a full episode on demystifying the judicial scrivener at some point. And again,
scrivener.
Just,
okay, got it.
No worries, Justin. We've been researching this space so much, and it's like still a black box. But yeah, we're finding that emotional moment where you get the offer accepted, and then you're like, you want to celebrate, but it's like, oh wait, it's going to take a month to settle. Is like the most unsatisfying, or maybe not unsatisfying, but I don't know. How do you feel in that limbo? Were you like, I got the house, or you're like still a little worried?
I think it's not that bad because even if I had the house, it doesn't mean anything because I'm not there, right? It's not like I can move in right now anyways. We were planning on going to Japan regardless in October. So it just worked out that I could now see the house as well. Now it becomes an official like business trip. So it's like either way, I was going to go see the house in October. As long as everything was settled by then, it didn't matter if I got the offer in September or if I got the offer October 1st.
Yeah, I think it's a new, me and Joey were talking about this. This is like a new category of travel. Go to Japan and buy Akiya. I know that was your initial intent, I think, in our first consult. You're like, hey, I'm going to go in November. I want to get this process started, right?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, I think that is probably 70% of our customers at this point, where they're like, hey, I'm planning to go to Japan on this trip. I would like to buy a house at the same time. So
yeah,
worked out for you, right?
Oh, it did. Absolutely.
Okay. Let's talk about the funnest part here. You got the keys from Yoshi, or how was the walking in or checking out your house for the first time? What were your first impressions?
It was incredible. Okay.
Okay.
So my wife and I, we were in Tokyo, right? And I was like, I'll just go check out the house. I'm just gonna go see it. You stay here. So
Oh, you went solo? Okay.
I went solo. I was like, you know what? It's fine. Didn't want to drag her all the way there, and she'll come see it eventually. So I tried taking a flight from Tokyo to Osaka because one of my coworkers is Japanese, and they were like, yeah, don't take the train. Try taking a flight.
Okay.
And I was like, really? And I looked up the prices, and because I ordered late, it cost $90 from Tokyo to Osaka.
Okay.
And I was like, if I was earlier, that would have cost $60. And it's like, really? So I gave it a shot. First time, I usually always take the Shinkansen, right? But the Shinkansen is like $150 roughly.
Yeah.
So if I had done the timing of better, because overall I spent more time flying because I got to the airport like 2 hours early, and then so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, it only cost me $90. So landed in Atami, I think. Atami, yeah, and went all the way to where I was in Nara.
Okay.
I got a hotel nearby, put all my stuff down, middle of the night. No, okay, it's 7 o'clock.
Okay.
I tried to walk from Itami to the place. Or not
Okay.
Itami, sorry, from the hotel to the place.
Okay.
30-minute walk in the night. Gorgeous, gorgeous walk. I get to my place and there's no utilities and there's no power. So I'm walking through this. Maybe I'll send you the video later.
No,
I'm
please
walking
do.
through the house in pitch black. I just walked up a massive hill to get here. I don't know if you remember. It's on top of the hill.
We're gonna talk about that in a sec. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm breathing. I'm like stressed out. The house is super hot because there's no aircon or anything. There's no power, and I'm just quietly walking through this pitch black house with my flashlight on my camera, and it's terrifying. It's like something out of Silent Hill. So I'm going through, and it made for a great video. And I'm like, oh my god, I am so scared right now. I got to get out of here. But that was a really fun first impression. I came back in the morning, and the house is gorgeous. But it was a really fun first look at the house. It looks like it's like an abandoned house in the Japanese countryside. Really fun experience.
Yeah, we do the exact same thing, and sometimes we're like, oh man, we're so tired from traveling, but the excitement,
you gotta go check
that
it out.
You're like, I'm 10 minutes away from my house. I own this. It's such an exciting feeling.
Yeah.
In that first Luigi mansion, you opened up the door. What surprised you? Me and Joey personally, we were like, oh shit, did we make a mistake? Did you have a moment like that?
This is impossible for us to know because I'm like 6'2". I'm pretty tall.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I saw the photo of you and Yoshi. I'm like, whoa, Justin's huge.
There's an area which is going to be my bedroom. There's 4 Japanese style like tatami mat rooms in the center of the first floor. And in between those rooms are like sliding doors. I hit my head on each of those. They go to my forehead. I'm like, oh no. There was no way. It would have been impossible to predict that, right? And it was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to get used to it. I'm gonna hit my head on it for a long time, but that's just how it is. Besides that, not really. Everything was like, it was really hot and humid, but that's less about the house and more about the location of Japan.
Did Yoshi organize a deep cleaning or something before, or was it like that was the raw how it was?
That's the raw house. It's super clean. Everyone I showed the videos to, they were shocked at how clean the place was. If Yoshi did a deep cleaning, he didn't tell me.
Okay, you scored, man. I feel like Joey and I have only been going into dirty places at this point.
Oh, really?
And so oh man, so congratulations. That's such a good.
Thank you.
I mean, not anyone listening to, not everyone's going to have this experience. Like, I'm curious, tell me a little bit about the house itself or the owner. Did you find the backstory? How long was it abandoned for? Who was the seller?
I actually have no idea about any of that. It never really came out. I never dug into it. It can't be Japanese.
Okay.
But whoever it was, like, kudos to them. They took really good care of this place and they made it spotless for me, basically.
Damn. Okay. I'm looking at photos. I'm just like, holy shit, you really scored. Like, the Genkan is huge, right?
Massive.
Okay. So you came back in the morning. You're up on a hill. So it sounds like great hill spot view, I know, but how was the walk from the train station or wherever you were expecting to surprise you? It sounds like, right?
So there's two. Okay, so there's 2 train stations, right? There's a major train station where the city center is, and that's where normally you would want to be. That's like a 30-minute walk, right? A very beautiful walk, pretty straight, and then at the last 2 minutes, it starts going uphill.
Oh no!
Pretty brutal. I'm going to be really fit after all this. Hey. And then the other direction, there's a small station 10 minutes away. But right when you leave the house, there is like a 5-minute incline that is so brutal, like mountain climbing, basically. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to go the long way from now on. Because even though it's a much shorter walk, it's not even worth it. I'll just take the scenic route.
Yeah.
And when you get to the train station, what I didn't know from Google Maps is that on these really small rural trains, they come every half hour. So it would have been faster for me just to have walked the longer path. That's the journey, but it is a gorgeous walk. You go through some old Japanese neighborhoods, you cross a bridge, over a river. It's just stunning views.
Awesome. Curious, so the view from your place, I totally forgot. So your house is perched up. Are there like a couple close by neighbors? Describe the area a little bit.
So it's like a windy road. So I'm like a windy road going up like a mountain is probably the best way I can describe it. And then my house is there on a big concrete block. So it's looking out over like the majority of the city. There's a neighbor right behind me, slightly higher up, and there's neighbors like below me as well that I can look down into. Like I can see everything around there. Yeah.
And I'm curious, did you talk to your neighbors at all?
No, I might once I get more comfortable with my Japanese, just be like, hey, nice to meet you. You're your new neighbor. Please take some gifts or something, and just try to be like, keep the peace.
Good. Yeah, give it the gift. The gifts will always work, especially from Canada if you bring something.
That's why, I'm always, these days, there's a lot of foreigners who are going to other like countries like Japan aren't the most gracious. And I really hate that. I have such a love and respect for Japan. And I want to make sure, hey, if there's any issues, just let me know. I'm not going to want to disturb. I don't want to ruin anything here. I'm just going to be quietly living in my house every now and then. And that's the mindset I have going into this place.
Absolutely. Okay, so going back to the house, you've seen it in the day. Any other surprises, or it's just really just like exactly as you expected? Was it like hotter or colder? Did it smell
so
funny?
much hotter?
Okay,
well, at night it was so much hotter. Actually, even in the day. One lovely thing is that there's really good wind from especially on the second floor kitchen. I basically sat at the window for a good 40 minutes, just like taking in the wind and just resting. It was so nice. No real surprises compared to when I went the night before and compared to the video walkthrough. It's nicer than I thought.
Awesome.
Nicer and cleaner than I thought.
Now the true question: how did your wife like it? Had she seen it yet?
She'd seen it. She was part of the video walkthrough. I went and did a full video walkthrough on my own and was contacting her throughout the entire thing. Yeah, she loves it.
Has she seen it in person yet?
Not yet.
Oh, when's gonna be her first time? She must be dying to see it, right?
Yeah. Ideally, we're gonna go back early next year.
Okay.
It'll be soon, and then the whole thing starts.
Okay. All right. Congratulations on landing this place. Again, things went smoothly here. Oh, a quick question: money transfer process. So this is a confusing part, and it's something we're trying to navigate a little bit. So did you pay the deposit in Wise and the rest in OFX, or did you do OFX for both?
I did OFX for both, but for the inspection, I had to do PayPal because it was taking so long. It was taking so long, and maybe that's because OFX does extra checks and balances. I don't know, but it would take like upwards of a week, and whereas PayPal, it came over immediately. I think PayPal has higher fees. I don't know why one is better than the other, but OFX did take longer than we expected.
PayPal has, I think, a maximum or something similar to Wise. I think Wise you can transfer like 10K or something like that, and PayPal is something like that. But yeah, I think we're finding OFX is like the only way to transfer larger sums of cash here. So you tried 3 transactions, right? So your first one was slow, got held up. Second one went through, and your third one you settled in advance, right?
Yeah, the third one we have plenty of time. So what happened was I think I sent the amount for the inspection through OFX, so that's the second payment. But it was so long, and Yoshi's like, "Hey, we need the money, otherwise we're going to miss the deadline." So I just sent the same amount through PayPal, and they deducted that extra payment from the final third payment.
Okay. Yep. That makes sense. So yeah, we're figuring it out still. I personally, full time, I work in crypto and trying to figure out just like, how do we transfer money to Japan smoothly? And there is no good solution yet. So optimistic in the future, and anyone listening who's buying, I think sending the money over earlier is never a bad thing, right? Okay. So you have the house. Congratulations. What are you going to do next with it? What's the plan moving forward here?
Here's the thing. I mentioned the earthquake stuff, and one of the big things we were going to do is, we got to earthquake proof this place. But that plan has gone a little sideways because we got the quote back for the earthquake fixing.
Oh, how much is it?
See, originally we were I know Yoshi said it was like 10 to 15K. I'm like, okay, sure. I'll put aside 10 to 15K Canadian, and we'll see how it goes, and we'll see how much it is. And we got the quote back, and the price for fully earthquake proofing the place is 3 times the cost of the house. And I'm like, okay, that's it was like 15 million or something, and it's like, we can't.
That doesn't make sense. Okay.
Yeah. So maybe that's the size of it. I don't know. And I was shocked. I was like, okay, I got insurance, so I guess we're gonna bank on the insurance. So we're gonna get some minor stuff done. They had a thing about termite reduction or prevention. They had a thing about fixing up the foundation, like we talked about. It just wouldn't be the full earthquake proofing and getting it up to standard that I originally wanted. So that's kind of a bummer. But
yeah, that's really interesting. And I want to talk to Yoshi about that. I'm curious, both your home inspection was like surprisingly expensive.
yeah,
I'm curious if it's like the house, the age, the location, maybe because it's up such a steep hill or something.
maybe it is the hill, right? I don't know.
Yeah. And then earthquake proofing wise too. I know in our initial chat, your house is like on this mountain. We were a little bit worried from a landslide zone kind of perspective. And do you think that kind of came into play with that earthquake proofing quote?
I don't know, because when we did the inspection, we're not in any of the danger zones for the landslide stuff. I don't know. And when I was looking at the breakdown of the costs, it was mostly for installing metal fittings, I think. Google Translate's a little iffy, but it's the metal reinforcement. And that maybe just because there's so much house to do it for, it jacked the price up. So it's unfortunate, but we're just going to have to skip out on that and just hope for the best.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to just buy a new house for that.
If I can afford that much, I would have gone to a different house.
Yeah,
that's too bad.
We get that question a lot too. It's just, same with our Beppu spot. I think we did like light retrofitting and not like maybe it sounds like yours was a little bit more hardcore, and maybe because your house is bigger and on a hill or something like that. But yeah, I think at the core of it, people are going to have to take risks. I think we get that question so often. Aren't you worried about some super earthquake coming through? Yeah, it's going to happen if it happens.
Yeah. The good thing is we got the insurance in, and if something happens, at least we're covered. We can rebuild something, and it sucks, but that's as good as we're going to get. I live in the west coast of Vancouver, right, or in Canada, and we're along a major earthquake fault for our entire lives, right? And the big one's coming any year now, and I'm 35. Nothing's ever happened since. Maybe it'll
knock on wood somewhere.
Knock on wood, knock on wood. But I'm no stranger to people saying that there's going to be a massive earthquake anytime soon.
Absolutely.
I think what you said is correct. We just have to take some risks. Otherwise, I'd never buy a house. Otherwise, I just stay here forever.
Yep. You're a doer, you're a sender, Justin. I think, through the process, it was very clear that you had done your research and you're like, let's go for it. And I think that's absolutely something who wants to buy a house needs to bring that level of research. Okay, so it sounds like the house. Fun fact, like anything crazy that your house is located nearby, like do you find a ramen shop you really like, or what was any surprises on neighborhood?
There is a Kura Sushi 20 minutes away, and it is cheaper than any other Kura Sushi I've seen in Japan. It is 105 a plate, and I spent, it was so good.
$3 or something?
No, 105. So it's 80 cents a plate Canadian, maybe like 50 cents US. So I spent like $25 and just ate like 40 plates when I went there on the night. And I'm like, this is the best. This is the best. There's no train there.
Crazy?
Right? Yeah. Because it's for locals. There's no train nearby. There's like maybe a bus stop, but I just walk in when I take the bus. So they don't need to jack up the prices to because like Ikebukuro, it's $2 or 200 yen a plate. But here it's 105. It's an incredible deal for someone like me. So I'll be going there a lot.
Isn't it absolutely crazy how cheap food is in Japan? Like it is. You're back in Vancouver now. I'm sure it's like night and day, right?
Oh, brutal. Absolutely brutal. Like I Uber Eats some McDonald's and I was like, okay, this is $25 for a meal. I'm like, this is horrible. I hate this. So
that's back calculate like how much is that in yen? Oh shit, that was 3,000, 4,000 yen. I could have bought I
could have had all you can eat.
Exactly.
I could have had all you can eat from Kyukaku for the price of McDonald's. Just depressing.
Yeah. Cool, man. I want to switch gears a little bit now. I just want to get our audience are a lot of people who want to buy Akiyas, similar to our age, again, very priced out of their home regions to buy a house. Like who do you think is the right person to buy a $30,000 Akiya in Japan?
I think someone who definitely has that kind of disposable income. I know 30,000 is a lot cheaper than any house here, but after you add everything up, even that much, even though I had a comfortable amount of savings, I was still pretty nervous about spending that much. So make sure you're not putting yourself out by going for an Akiya. One thing I wish I had was I don't know anything about like DIY. I don't know anything about repairing, or I can barely build IKEA furniture. So that's going to be an uphill battle for me when I
learning experience.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough first month while I try to set up my house. So if you have any background in that'll really help. But don't be afraid to do a lot of research. If you see a place, just favorite it, and then look into that area as much as you can. Look into Google Maps, Google Translate the listings, as much work as you can to see, would I be comfortable living in this place?
Yeah.
What shops are nearby? Are there any English speaking shops? Or because there are some places where it's like they are not built for foreigners because the menu is like handwritten, and like I don't think I can even Google translate that. There's no chance. I have no shot of even trying. I'm just gonna skip it for now and I'll come back later.
Oh, you just skipped it. You should have challenged it. All right, come back to it. Yeah,
I might come back because there's a couple of sushi places nearby. There's some soba places, and I'm sure the local soba place, would be incredible. Would be the best thing I've ever eaten, but it's intimidating for me. Like, as just a Gaijin. Yeah, I would say someone who's not afraid of taking that risk and who's willing to put in the work. You can't just go in blind because that's how you'll end up getting a place that may not match what you're actually looking for if you're just looking at like price.
You killed it though too. I want to also set expectation that like the photos don't always look like what it is, and your photos, if it actually is what it looks like, man, you really scored here. And
I'll send you the videos later.
Send me videos, photos. I want to see it all. Okay, and then on the flip side to your advice here, I think there's a little bit of analysis paralysis sometimes. I think both of us are Asian, raised in North America, and we're trained to be a little bit risk averse and make sure the numbers work out. And Japan's numbers don't work out from an ROI perspective. I think all the time, you can find higher yield in other assets, and also same with there's so many Akiya on the market. And what really made you like take that jump? Was it what catalyzed that for you?
That jump, sorry, for that specific house or just buying a house in general?
Just buying a house in general, just being like, okay, like I've done my research, I've done enough. I think a lot of people will research too much and not take that action is what I worry.
I think a lot of it was that time crunch of, okay, I need to make the best decision I can, but I have a time limit because we're going to Japan in a couple of months. We need to get it done by then. We don't want to let an opportunity slip by. We don't want the listing disappear because there's a couple places that we found that were actually really good. And then we came back the next day and they were gone. They were removed. And we were like, oh shit, we gotta go. So we had like maybe a short list of 25 different places that we just kept whittling down until we got to the one we had. Another thing about just buying a house is we never saw it as an investment.
Okay.
And we I have friends who live in Japan and they were very honest with me about it. Japanese houses are not investments. They depreciate. I'm not planning on selling it for a fortune later on. I'm not planning on flipping this place. I just want a place to live. And when you have that, if you have an investment mindset, it's a very different house you're looking for, right? You probably want something closer to Tokyo or something near a major city that you could turn around and sell, or even Airbnb. No one's going to come and Airbnb my place all the way in the countryside. And that's fine.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who can survive like the 30-minute walk up the hill and everything. So for me, it was simple.
That's awesome, man. I think, the time crunch and going back to it, we got to figure out a name for this new travel, go to Japan and buy an Akiya. But I do find that helps a lot of people because time is finite, right? They can't be in Japan all day. They can do as much as they can lining up the ideal property, but seeing it, you actually bought it without seeing it in person though, right?
Yeah,
okay.
And that's what I was anxious about. That's what a lot of relatives were anxious about. But it was just one of the things that, I've had some talks with relatives like you can't buy without seeing it.
But baby.
Yeah, exactly. There's always that fear of like you go there and it's not, the house looks nothing like the video. It looks nothing like the photos, and you just bought a piece of crap, and now you can't do anything. And that's what a lot of Asian relatives, they were all kind of warning me about that. And you just like, no, I don't think this is a scam. Yoshi seems legit. You guys seem legit. It'll be, and that's the leap of faith. And this is me telling anyone who's listening that this process is legitimate, as far as I can tell. It's pretty good.
Thank you, Josh. That was a glowing review. Again, not scripted here.
Not scripted.
But awesome, Justin. Let's end on that. Again, thank you so much for trusting us. You were one of our early folks in the process. We will be in Japan in January, hopefully. Hopefully we can come check it out. But yeah, again, thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking the time and giving us that leap of faith. I know it's such a scary moment when you're like clicking that money. Are these guys scammers? Or thank you for clarifying. We are not scammers.
Yeah, they are not. You will get a nice Japanese house if you put in the work.
Cool.